Welcome to episode 3 of Occupy the Yard. Listen, this episode is so good because we, the Yard, went to the ATL to do it. So, Clark, Atlanta, thank you so much for hosting us. But yo, we got some amazing students, not just in Nashville, but for real, around the United States. So if you're a student looking for great content to, one, help you grow spiritually, help you grow and find community, or just professional development, right? All of those things are super important as you are occupying space. So I'm not gonna hold you, but what I do need you to do, if you find and when you find any good value out of this conversation, I want you to go ahead and make sure you subscribe and share it with someone that you know to need a resource to grow with. All right, with all that being said, let's get to the yard and let me introduce our amazing student to you. Let's go. So, bro, it's so good to be here, man. I cannot wait for this conversation. Bro, we came all the way from Nashville to the A.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is how I know this is about to be good. So really quick, Jay, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, what's up, church? It's Jehlin Hayes, all the way here at Clark Atlanta University. CAU is homecoming week. Y'all came
that's crazy.
On one of the best. I was just home for TSU homecoming, so I'm like, I get back to back.
Hey, bro. And then we got what? Spelman and Morehouse is the following week.
Next week, yeah.
Bro,
so
it's too much.
Yeah, it is back to back. Unfortunately, I won't be there, but I'll be home working. I'll be back in Nashville.
Back in the Ville. All right. So listen, here's the thing, man. Before we even get into the topic, what is it like just being a city boy from North Nashville, 37208? What's up? Holla back. But going from North Nashville to Clark, that adjustment, just being a black guy, what is all that like for you, bro?
So I wouldn't say that, look, first, Clark is in the hood, just like TSU is.
Yeah.
But I would say the adjustment to be around more people of color, but more so I would say people of color that are also successful.
Yeah.
And to see that, it's a different drive and ambition where it's like, okay, I gotta do this because I've seen it before, but to see it where it's like you have a whole city of people that look like you, that are doing things that you want to do times that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, the adjustment was like, all right, I got to get my stuff together.
Yeah.
I got to get it together, and it's like, I got to focus. I got to zoom in to what exactly I'm here for, because it's a lot of things out here. So it's just like, I gotta go.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about all of this. That is the focus of College Sunday, right?
Okay.
It's coming from Luke 19:13, where Jesus tells them to occupy until I get back. So with that, how's it been for you to use your talents, right? What does it look like for you to influence your campus, coming in from a whole nother state, similar communities, not the same, but similar, right? How have you used your background to influence where you are right now?
Right. So I would say that I have been using all of the gifts that God has given me. Right now, I've been in Clark. Music, I've joined the choir, the university choir, or however, I've been still doing things on the side just to still be like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to do music, but as well as I know how to talk. I'm a great communicator. My major is mass communications. So I've been doing different podcasts. I've been making sure that I actually have a mental health summit coming up November 21st with the university. And I'm the co-host of that. So I've been making sure that I'm staying busy, but as well as doing what God wants me to do and just praying about some things, because it gets hard where it's like, okay, God, you gave me all these gifts.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing this, or I'm not seeing that, or what does this opportunity looks like? Or where do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that has been my biggest thing where it's like, God, what do you want me to do? It's like, just show me. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. So even in those podcasts, even in joining the choir.
Oh, and I'm sorry, cut you off. My freshman year, I had started a Bible study.
Come on, bro.
I did. I started a Bible study, and it grew and it grew, and I think I didn't like what one of the people that was leading it with me, and I had to just kind of step back. And Pastor Jamal Bryant actually came on camp one day. And first of all, I've never have met him in person. We've never had any conversation.
At the Bible study.
No. He just randomly came on campus one day, and he asked me. He was like, I just shook his hand. I was like, hey, yeah, I've seen you. You showed up to my church before back on Mount Zion, and he was like, okay. He was like, are you preaching yet? I was like,
whoa, guy, you came in so hot.
Time like, out. You don't know me.
Right.
How do you know?
Right.
Who told you that?
Who told you this? Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
No, bro, I love it. So let's lean into that, right? With him saying, "Are you preaching yet?" Did that confirm something that you felt like, I don't know, maybe I'm called to do this, or is it like, am I supposed to be? You're right. Like, so sometimes you know what you should be doing, but you're running from your call and you're trying to distract it with other good things you do, right? But this is somebody who randomly walked up to you and said, oh yeah, you preaching yet? Right? So what was that? I love how your voice got.
It was one of those things where it was just like, you're funny. You know, wow. And I told guys, was like, you're funny.
Jamal Bryant.
Yeah, like,
tell me.
Jamal Bryant. Where I've been to this man's church before.
Yeah.
Of course, like, that's my church home here in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I'm like, I go there.
Come on, New Birth. Shout out, bro.
Right.
Let's
shout
go.
out to New Birth. So I'm like, you don't see me.
Yeah.
Like so I think for me, it was just one of those things where it's like, God, but I hear this, but I also hear everything else you say. How can I do music? And as well as I'm like, no offense, God, but I'm like, it's not going to be Christian music unless you want me to do it. Okay, I'll do it. But I'm like, how do you want me to do that? But also you're telling me this, and there's been so many people saying, oh yeah, you're supposed to do that, because the numbers of the Bible study kind of shocked me. We went from 1 week to having 12 people.
Come on.
To the next week having 20 people.
Wow.
To that next week that we had to kind of move into a classroom space. It had to be like a presentation hall.
Oh, wow.
Where it kind of like set up like an auditorium.
Like a lecture hall.
A lecture hall.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right. And I realized then, I was like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Cool. But I think it's confirmation. Mm-hmm. But however, it is sometimes where I'm like, I'm not ready yet. But I don't think, it's just like, who's that? Jonah.
Yeah.
It's
Come
just
on.
like, I don't.
Sounding like you about to preach.
It's like, I don't.
I'm teasing.
It's just one of those things where it's like, I didn't ask you if you were ready or not.
Yeah.
I need you to go do something. You keep running away. Every time I'm going to pull you back. I'm going to do it in a gentle way, though, because God is, of course, a gentleman. But it's like, I'm going to always give you the tools of what you need to do.
I love it.
Every time.
So I'm going to tell you what's so good about this. And it kind of goes into the next question. Mm-hmm. That conversation that Jesus had at Zacchaeus' house, right? Mm-hmm. About occupy space until I get back. It was also where he gave these servants resources to manage, right? So when you're thinking about, think about all your gifts and your talents as resources. Mm-hmm. Think about management. How am I managing these resources the Lord has given me? Now, when he come back, he's like, bro, I'm trying to see what that increase is like, right? So that's the context that we're going for, right? But whether it's your time, energy, or connections, do you believe you have been given stewardship over them, right? 2, how have you stewarded those gifts? Mm-hmm. All right. So do you believe he's given it to me to steward? And then so if he has, or I believe that, how have I stewarded that? Or like, man, Lord, you know what? I need to steward this better, man. Because if you know he told you to go start a Bible study, you started it. All right, Lord, it ain't what I thought it was going to be, but the assignment was still given to you, regardless of who you partner with. The assignment was for you.
It's funny that you say that.
Come on, man. We here. We on the yard talking about it, bro.
Somebody else told me that too.
Come on.
One of my close friends, they told me, they was like, that's what God told you to do.
Yeah.
They said, so why did you let other people overtake something that God told you to do?
Come on,
because
bro. That's
they
good.
also said, when you started letting other people talk for you, because I would say, okay, like, I'm not going to talk to because I was trying to be nice. You know, I was like, I don't want to make it seem like I was doing the Bible study, but at the same time, like, you know, I don't know, God, maybe this ain't what you want me to do. But it was one of those things where it's like, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to have other people do it as well and see if that's, and the numbers just dropped once other people started talking. And one of my former friends had told me, they were like, they say, you see how people show up when you talk randomly. They said people are spreading the word. And they said, but when other people are talking, they're not understanding it, and people aren't coming back. But I said, I'm not a selfish person at all. So with my gifts, I think that I'm always willing to help people with motivation, advice, feeling. I've told one of my God sisters the other day, I'm like, your cup is dry.
Come on.
Even though I said, I feel like mine is dry. I said, but however, God still allows me to continue to pour into you. It's up to you to listen to it, receive it, digest it. But I'm giving you what I can right now, and you got to go. You got to figure out what you're gonna do with that. And I just think that right now it's that season that God's just like, I need you to kind of just listen to me, and I got you.
I love
and that kind of goes back to when I was telling you about, like, if I needed a job or not. I think God's just like, listen to me, and I got you. Yeah. I'll bring in all sorts of things for you if you just listen, do what I need you to do.
I love that. It almost makes me think of at the end of the day, when Moses was so concerned about his stuttering, then his assignment, he pivoted and gave it to Aaron, right? Like, because I got this defect, bring somebody else with me. All right, well, give it to Aaron then, bro. Like, he speaks better, he does these things better. The assignment, though, was your assignment.
Yeah.
So, brother, stutter, slip, be wrong, but the oil that you're supposed to be operating in, you got to have faith that it's not my gifts, talents that draw the people, it's the oil on me that draws the people.
Right. And
I think that's just a good spot to pause and encourage people who may be watching this, that sometimes when you're starting something, it is not perfect. God will perfect it as you do it, but don't get caught up in the perfection of it in the infant stage. Walk through it step by step. He'll clean it up. He'll draw the people who's supposed to be with you. But what people connect with is authenticity, right? And relatability. The fact that you are a student, like, hey, I may be wrong. I could connect with somebody that way versus somebody who's just appearing, I know it all, like, challenge me. No, bro, we're all teachable. We're all flawed men, but we depend on a good God. You know what I'm saying? So one, I tell you that, and to the viewer, that because sometimes as a college student, you working through so many thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Like, before I ain't trying to get canceled. You know how right? Especially down here, you talking about connections. You know, like, bro, they'll take your little piece, bro, and run with it. But just that bit of encouragement, like, no, the Lord told you to do it. Rock it out, bro, because the numbers only dropped when you wasn't leading the charge. But when you were leading it, bro, he was blessing it, right? So it almost goes back into this next question, right? Okay. How do you see your mission of occupying as a student or influencer? What drives you to stand firm on your beliefs and values in spaces often that are shifty and uncertain? So how do you stand firm on what you believe in places that everybody are just being tossed to and fro by every new idea, every new hot pastor, every new wave? How do you stay firm in that?
It's funny that you say that, because I'm
a funny guy, bro. Clearly.
It's so funny that you say that, because I told my friends that I was like, when I know that God, I receive like revelation and ideas always in the shower, literally always in the shower.
It's crazy.
And I think one night, like, I even found myself like preaching in my dream or something like that.
That's a crazy dream.
I say that to say, like, I know that whenever God gives me an idea, I need to stick to the plan. Whatever is going on, it's like you got to stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Because trends are going to come and go. And with them coming and going, it's like there's going to always be this constant wave. But when you have something that is like so good, it's going to be there. And that's the same thing with music. Like if you continue to make authentic music, it's going to stick because there's nothing like it. There's your sound. I mean, that's why, honestly, as much as people dislike the woman, that's why Beyonce's still here. She has her own authentic sound. When you hear vocals, you know it's Beyonce. It's like she has her own sound versus people like Ice Spice and all that stuff.
Come on now.
But
let's talk about it. You finna get our show canceled before it really grabs traction, right?
Right.
But I'm here for it. It's on this conversation.
But no, I think I've had to kind of just stay consistent and stay focused, and that's coming from a person that has ADHD, where I'm like, all these ideas, I got to do this, I got to do that, but I'm like, I have to stay focused and locked in.
I like that. And again, bro, even talking about that, students who battle with that, because sometimes you have so many great ideas.
Yeah.
Great ideas are not God ideas. So which one do you stick with, even when, all right, that was supposed to be put in the chamber for something later on. It's a great idea. May not be time for it. But how have you learned, like, no, this is a right now idea, so let me lock in on this, and I'm gonna put these other things over here in the safe?
I think for me it's, and I was going to say it's a feeling. It's the Holy Ghost where it's like you know, like I know where it's like, this has been on my mind. It's gonna show up in many different ways. I'm like, I got to do this because I continue to see it. Because I have ADHD, so I forget stuff all the time. But if there's something that I'm like, I got to do, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's gonna always be there. So I kind of manage it where I write things down in a journal where it's like, okay,
That's what I was about to ask.
I have this. This is what this is this idea. Get this person on board. I've started like a media entertainment group on campus, and it's called Melody Media. I forgot to tell you that. I'm sorry.
Shameless plug.
It's called Melody Media, and the goal is that we are actually going and interviewing artists, allowing artists on campus to do like performances and all those other different things, and as well as I'm using it for my benefit as well. Yeah. But how I say that to say that I tell my the young lady that works with me, my co-CEO, I tell her, I'm like, hey, Star, I need you to remind me to do X, Y, and Z. I have to get this done because I know God is telling me this is the vision. We got to do it like this. Yeah. So that's kind of what I do. I make sure I write things down. I put an alarm, and then that good friend that I know has better memory or is always like this, I let them know.
I love it. And you can't do anything by yourself, bro. You don't work in silos. You need a team. People who understand where we're going and understanding their gift in the process. I may be the visionary. I don't need you to be the visionary. Let me do that. But you may be good at something else.
That's exactly what I'm so serious. It's like I have because her name is Star. Star is my
shout out Star.
Right. Shout out Star. Star is my co-CEO. So you got Star. So whenever I'm like, okay, Star, we gotta do this. She's like, cool, let's set up a meeting. You and I, we chat and we type it about it. She's like, hold on, you're going too fast. Let's do one idea at a time. So we'll do that. And then I have Myra, who Myra is our I know I'm just you got it because someday these people are gonna and
I knew them vicariously through you.
But she is our director of productions. Okay. So whenever we have something going on that has to do with like film or like our podcast and all that other stuff, we're sending it down to her. Then she's gonna send it back up to us like, hey, I got this pitch deck. Do you like this? What does this look like? We're like, cool. Because I can't do everything. Yeah. And I know that. I can't be a full-time college student, then focusing on my mental health, then doing all this other good stuff. So I'm just like, I need help. Yeah. Like, it's okay to ask for help.
And balance is key.
Yes.
Balance is key, bro. Like, at the end of the day, if I'm empty, I'm no good. because I'm not pouring out anything. All right. So with that, coming to this last question. All right. Understanding that Luke 19 was not just Jesus speaking about giving gifts and looking for them to steward the gifts, right? How would you encourage and help others to recognize their own gifts in them? And what would you tell them to do to start influencing others through the gifts that they have discovered? One, helping them find it. Hey, if you're trying to look for your gift, this is where you start. Once you find it, this is how I encourage you to go off and use your gifts.
I would say, I'd say, and just bear with me for a second.
No, you good, bro. You good.
I think that oftentimes your gift comes out when you don't even notice it. And what I mean by that is let's say like you and I are sitting here having this conversation and you believe that your gift is probably building cars, but you're doing a podcast every day and you're chatting, you're talking, and you're like, okay, I really like this, but I'm gonna keep going over here and building these cars. It's like, wait a minute, you're not even seeing your gift actually shining in front of you. Sometimes that thing that you're like, oh, I just do this on the side, or it's just this, but you actually enjoy it and you love it, that may actually be your gift. And I had to tell somebody that the other day, they want to be a dentist, but I'm like, but yet you know how to like work TikTok 24/7. Your gift may actually be content creating, doing all these different hauls and stuff like that. And because nowadays content creating is actually where the money is for my generation. So I'm like, you can get all these endorsements from Target, from Lululemon, all the other good stuff, because that's what all the girls like. So I'm like, you can do that. And I think sometimes we don't pay attention to our gift because sometimes we're afraid of it.
Come on, bro.
Either we're afraid of it or we're afraid of what the world would think about our gifts. And I think that's one of the reasons why sometimes I get afraid of singing, because I'm like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I know how to sing, but like, I don't know, because singing is one of those gifts where it's like either you can sing or you can't. Right. Yes, I do know that I can sing, but however, you still have to, are people going to like this? And then another thing that I would say, especially for people coming into school, and this is kind of off topic, but God had put in my heart last night, actually. And I was just going through the story of Lot and his wife and all that good stuff. And be prepared to lose some people in your journey. And it is okay to lose people that are not good for you, especially when God has given you an assignment and something to do. Those people that are hard-headed, you got to let them be. Because just like when the angels came and they told Lot and his family, we're leaving, do not turn back. And she turned back and turned into a pillar of salt. It's one of those things where it's like, you got to listen.
Hey, don't be salty now.
Do not.
Don't get salty on me.
It's one of those things where it's like you have to listen to what God is telling you to do, because college is one of those things where it's a pool of so many people trying to find themselves.
You're right.
You got so many people that are dibbling and dabbling in different things, and those spirits will then get on you, and you're over here trying to figure out, who am I again?
Right.
I've had to tell myself, you got to stay rooted in who you are. My mom tells me all the time, like, you got to remember who you are. So it's just one of those things where it's like, to everyone coming into college, stay true to who you are. There's a lot of trends out here, but stay true to who you are, because trends come and go.
Right.
The next thing, they're gonna have BBLs on the eyelashes or something. I don't know.
Crazy. Your eyelashes is wild business.
But
but it takes somebody who is insecure or don't find their own beauty that says, I need to look like everyone else.
Yeah.
And now what we're doing is people are not just losing their physical identity, trying to look like everybody, but they're losing their actual identity, right? Which is why the yard is so important. And we're really starting this podcast because for students, we're not saying God has you uniquely made all of us, right? We are all fearfully and wonderfully made, right? He knows us through and through. He knew us in our mother's womb. He knows the plans he has for us, all these things, but you have to trust who he says you are, not what the world is trying to like you to be, right? Like hit the like and do these. No, I have to be who God has called me to be. And there may be a season where you like who I'm walking in, but there may be seasons where you don't like who I'm walking as, right?
Okay.
And that's okay. But what you have to do is stay true to the man in the mirror. All right. So completely different question, but let's make it challenging. All right. You got to list your top 4 performers. These 4 people are the best performers ever.
Okay.
And you got to stand on business. Because again, the chat going to go crazy. Like, he's crazy. Number 3. No. Top 4. Who you got?
My top 4 is my first person is Beyonce. I went to go see Beyonce in London last summer.
I went to London to see Beyonce.
Yeah, my mom and dad,
My man
we went.
is international.
I do.
Well, how many countries have you been to?
Oh,
just to let them know.
I've been to Egypt.
Come on now.
Been to the UK. I've been to France. And I've been to Uganda. Yeah, I've been to Uganda. And I think that's it right now.
Okay,
I think
right
that's
now.
it. Right now.
All right, here we go.
Right now,
The
I think
Lord's
that's
making
it.
waves.
He
Okay.
is.
All right, Beyonce don't win. Sorry,
so
London.
Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, Bruno.
K-Dot number 2?
Yeah. Like Kendrick, he is a great as a rapper, he throws on a show. He's not just like rapping. I love entertainment. You know, if God willing, whatever you want me to do.
You hear me, Lord?
If it's music, that's what I aspire to. I want to give people a show, and I think they do that. So Beyonce, Kendrick, Bruno Mars, and Janelle Monáe. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. What is the theme song
Of my life right now.
of your life right now?
They Not Like Us.
Not because it's
Wait,
popular.
no, not. Yeah, I have 2. They
Okay.
Not Like Us, and Like That. So I'm in my beefing season.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not necessarily beefing with anybody, but it's just like I'm in that season. It's in that season where I'm like, I'm getting everything that I lost. I'm out here. Sometimes you gotta do some things by yourself. I'm in my winning season where I'm like, I gotta get this.
Come on now.
So that's just where I'm at.
Hey, so listen, with all that being said, Jay, first of all, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I literally called you today earlier.
Yeah.
You made time. My man just came from class. He was like, bro, I got rehearsal, but I'm gonna pop through. So, yo, 1, thank you so much for popping out.
Yes, sir.
But 2, thank y'all for tuning in. If you found any value in what you heard today, yo, this is what I need you to do. What's your social handle? Go ahead and follow.
It's just my name, Jehlin, and that's on Instagram. I'm on Facebook too, y'all.
Hey, bro, throw it out there.
TikTok as well. It's just my name, Jehlin, and y'all see a little cowboy hat on there, and that's me.
Boom. So listen, follow the cowboy hat, Jehlin, but also share it with somebody who needs to hear and get this type of encouragement. But we thank you for viewing it. We thank you for following us. Go ahead, make sure you subscribe. But yo, until next time, go and not just take up space, but occupy the yard. All right, we out.
Yeah.